Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mohan Guru, for your kind words. Hare Krishna. So, first of all, we are feeling very honored, privileged. We are feeling very happy to be amongst all of you, such large family of devotees. It's our great pleasure to share something with you all. As a service, I'll just set up the stage and Raghu Gopinath will actually be doing the main talk, but I'll introduce the topic to you. We'll chant the invocation praise together. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yatapadamadam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sadrijatam Savaraguratam Tam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Navita Shri He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Bhakta Kanchana Gauragi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanu Sute Devi Pranamani Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Paritanam Pavamebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, our deepest gratitude to the devotees who have organized today evening program, and the preacher in the western suburb. There are several Bhakti Vriksha groups today clubbed together. So our gratitude to all the devotees who have been preaching in the western suburb and giving us this opportunity. We will recite one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, which describes two important elements of Bhakti Yoga which we need to balance in life. Two important principles of Bhakti Yoga. Before we recite, I'll just introduce. We all have so many things to do in devotional service. At times, we are confused. Oh, we have to chant around, we have service to do, we have our other responsibilities, family responsibilities. We should read Prabhupada books, we should distribute Prabhupada books, and there are festivals, Bhakti Vriksha programs, Bhakti Yatras, so many things. There are so many things. And sometimes we may be confused, and at times we may lack time and be not able to prioritize. What all should we do? So therefore, the devotees from one of the suburbs or one of the satellite centers of Navadvip, known as Kulina Gram, they approached Lord Chaitanya and exactly asked, there are so many things to do, can you tell us what is the prime thing we should focus on? Can you tell us the prime thing we should be focusing on? So Lord Chaitanya says, okay, if you're not able to do many things, just do these two things. Just do these two things and you will attain the perfection of life. So Lord Chaitanya prioritizes for them. Help them to balance. To recite the verse recited by Lord Chaitanya himself. This is Madhya Leela chapter 16 verse number 70. Do we have it on the display somewhere? We were supposed to display the verse. Okay.
It was on the laptop.
Okay, we have to just start it. Okay, fine. Okay. This is Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtan, right? Let me confirm. I am not able to see. Otherwise, I am reciting one verse, you will see what's happening. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya is answering the question. So many things to do, can you tell us few things to focus on? What is okay? Just two things you focus on. Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtana.
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 Lui kar shigra pave Shri Krishna Charana.
Lui kare shigra bhave Shri Krishna Charana.
So the meaning is pretty clear. Even just by hearing the verse, especially, just by hearing the verse, we can understand most of the verses. We don't even need the translation. Prabhu Kahe, Lord Chaitanya is saying, Vaishnav Seva Nam Sankirtan, serve the devotees and perform Nam Sankirtan, chant the holy name of the Lord. Do these two things. What will be the result? Shigra Pave. Very soon you will obtain the goal of life, the Lord's lotus feet, the ultimate shelter. So, since there are just two things, it's good to memorize and remember. So, we will try to by heart the verse in next few recitations. And then I would like you to recite from your heart, not from your eyes. Okay? I'll ask you to close your eyes, we'll put the display off. And by heart it and then recite from the heart. Okay, let's do a few recitations. Very simple to memorize, very easy. I'm sure that many children sitting here will be able to memorize very soon. Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtana.
Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtana.
Lui kar shigra pave Shri Krishna Charana.
Lui kare shigra bhave Shri Krishna Charana.
Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtana.
Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtana.
Lui kar shigra pave Shri Krishna Charana.
Lui kare shigra bhave Shri Krishna Charana.
Fine. Do we have the cordless mic? We can have few recitations while we are looking, and after that we will recite from the memory, from our heart. Yes. We have another mic to pass. No.
You have
Okay.
wired one, but not the cordless.
The wild one.
Yeah, but not
We
the
have?
cordless one.
Okay, mic won't go.
Yeah, one. Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's okay. Try to recite little loudly, and we will recite behind you and follow you. Those who would like to recite, please raise your hand. Okay, there are a few devotees. We'll begin from this side. Yes, Natalie.
Prabhu Kahe Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtan.
Prabhu
Lui karo shigra pave Shri Krishna Charan. Hare
Krishna, thank you. Yes, Prabhu, please recite.
प्रभु का है वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
प्रभु
दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
Hare Krishna, thank you. Yes, okay, we have someone right behind, please. Okay, good. Prabhu Hare Krishna Seva Nama Sankirtana Duri Kare Shikra Pape Shri Krishna Charana. Hare Krishna, thank you. Hare Bol. Let's give applause to little girl. What's her name? Wow, Gaurangi Radha, thank you for designing so sweetly. Hare Krishna. Okay, can you put the display off? And if you have your mobile with you, please put it in the silent mode and keep it inside or keep the mobile phone also down. Fine, so now please practice dependence on Krishna and recite the words. Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, please. Little loudly, we'll recite behind you.
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तना
Prabhu Hare Krishna Seva Nama
संकीर्तन
दुई करो शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
Duri
शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
Hare Bol. We should be very generous in showing our appreciation. Loud applause. Okay, so now we'll have few more devotees recite from the heart, and whoever is able to recite, we all are going to be generous in showing our appreciation.
We all can move forward. Could you all please move forward?
Hare Krishna. Yes, we have Vedahi. Is that Vedahi? Yes, Vedahi is here. Vedahi wants to recite. First, we give opportunity to kids. Whoever has memorized it.
Can you give the mats that side to the kids so that the kids can all sit there? Yeah. Kids, can we got on the side, all the side? Can you get on the side, all the kids that side? All the kids didn't go that side. Kids, all the kids that side. Go this.
Okay, the kids, there is a special place. The front seats are available for the kids without any charge. The front rows.
Prabhu.
Okay, please come closer.
Mata ji Radhala. Kids.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, please. We used to have a devotee in Mumbai. Whenever there used to be a class, if that devotee would like the class, some point, he would move little bit forward and he would be leaning in the class. And if he would like some point, he would move little bit forward. And he would say, we will see how nice the class has been given by measuring how many centimeters this devotee has moved. Now that I have just figured the class, you all have moved so much forward, I am feeling very encouraged. Okay, Hare Krishna. We are reciting the words which was on display, but now which we have to have a display on our hearts, on the screen of our hearts, and recite it. Yes, when he is going to recite the words.
प्रभु करे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
Prabhu दूरीकरण शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण हरे कृष्ण हरि बोल great yes we'll have some more recitations first from the children if any of the kids would like to recite not yet okay good please loudly yeah प्रभु करे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
दूरी करे शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण हरि बोल wonderful yeah the other kids are congratulating fine we have your devotees there is a child in everyone so the elder kids yes Prabhu
प्रभु कहे नाम संकीर्तन वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन दूरी करे शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण हरे कृष्ण yes
प्रभु करे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
दूरी करे शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
हरे बोल नमस्ते great fine behind yes please recite प्रभु करे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन दूरी करो शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण हरि बोल हरे कृष्ण yeah thank you amazing we can have one more recitation the last one okay we will prefer the children here right in the front yes
वैष्णव सेवा
Now
श्री नाम संकीर्तन
प्रभु करे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण
दूरी करो शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण हरि बोल what was your name Shivansh good Shivansh missed few words but it was a good attempt right so Krishna sees our attempt also so if the attempt is sincere the Lord gives the full result so our heartfelt appreciation to Shivansh also Hare Krishna so our very beautiful words Lord Chaitanya telling us that just do these two things Vaishnava Seva and Nam Sankirtan and we will attain the Lord's lotus feet, our ultimate center. There is a beautiful statement by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. He would say that Krishna is to be served at all times. We must serve Krishna. Our life is meant to serve Krishna. And even more indispensable is service to his devotees. So, the Lord is extremely pleased when we render service to his devotees. Lord Chaitanya he was in Jagannath Puri for 18 years. And whenever we go to any temple, any place, we all want to take darshan from as close as possible, is it not? We want to go right in the front, as much as front in the possible, and take darshan. But Lord Chaitanya would go far behind, and he would take darshan from behind the Garuda Stambha. So Garuda Stambha was right at the back. If you go to Jagannath Puri temple, so the devotees are taking darshan. The last devotee taking darshan is Garuda Deva. Garuda Deva is the devotee of the Lord, he does service. Lord Chaitanya would stand behind Garuda, that is right behind, way back, and he would take darshan from there. Why from so behind? You can't even clearly take the darshan. Why would you stand way behind? Lord Chaitanya had a very beautiful mood. He would say, I will stand behind a servant of the Lord, a Vaishnava. Garuda Deva is Param Vaishnava. He does service to the Lord. I will stand behind a devotee. I will stand behind a Vaishnava. And Lord Jagannath will glance upon me. He will glance upon me. And I will be blessed. So a very sweet mode of taking darshan is I actually am going to see the Lord, but if the Lord looks at me, I will be blessed. Therefore, again and again, the devotees pray, my Lord, Jagannath Swami Nayan Kartagami Bhavatu me, means, may I come in your vision. May you mercifully glance upon me. So one thing is we look upon the Lord, but actually we receive blessing when Lord looks upon us. So the mood is, when we go for darshan before the Lord, the mood is, may the Lord glance upon me. Because in his glance, there is mercy. Therefore we call Kripa. There is a beautiful stotra, a beautiful glorification, Shri Radha Kripa Kataksh Stavaraj. All the children in Barsana, they recite it by heart. They come before Shriji Mandir in the evening and they recite it, Shri Radha Kripa Kataksh Stavaraj, composed by Lord Shiva. And the whole composition is, may Srimati Radharani glance mercifully on us. So when we go before the Lord, we should go to receive his glance. We should go to receive his glance. And then we are unlimitedly blessed. But how we will receive his glance? Now, before the Lord, thousands of devotees are going. We want to go in the front to look at the Lord. But whom, the question is whom? Upon whom is the Lord looking at? We can say, oh, I had a nice darshan. But the question is, did the Lord look at you? We're not sure. Right? We say, okay, I went for the darshan. But if I ask the question, did the Lord look at you? That's doubtful. Whom will the Lord look at? There are thousands of devotees coming, and especially quickly, sometimes there is a very quick darshan, there is so much crowd, you will just go before the Lord for a while, and then you will come out. Upon whom will the Lord look? At the very back. Okay, good. We are not there standing, right? Okay, where Garuda Deva is standing. So, Srila, again, Lord Chaitanya would tell us, he has told, Lord would look at a person who likes to serve his devotees. He would be pleased to see that person, he would look at a person who likes to serve his devotees. And that person, wherever that person is standing, the Lord will be able to spot that person and glance mercifully. Therefore, again, there is a famous statement of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He would say, do not try to see Krishna. Do not try to see Krishna. Try to serve him, or try to serve his devotees, even better. Try to serve his devotees, so that the Lord will be pleased. He'll be happy, oh, this person has served my devotees. Lord will be pleased and he will glance. He will glance. Okay, I will tell you a beautiful story to elucidate, to further explain this concept. We know Mother Yamuna. Mother Yamuna, Gurudas Prabhu, Krishna Prabhupada disciple. Daily in the Darshan Arati, we have Govinda Mara Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Sarvahara. The very first temple of ISKCON, Shri Radha Nandanishwar temple, it was a dream project of our Acharya. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur wanted a Krishna conscious Mata, a Gaudiya Mata, Krishna conscious place in London. He had sent his sannyasis, he could not do it. Now the Grihasthas could accomplish what the sannyasis could not accomplish, the three Grihastha couples could accomplish. And she envisioned we will have a nice Radha Krishna deities in the very first Krishna temple in London. Can you imagine the dream of our acharyas? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur foresaw, he yearned that this Krishna conscious movement will spread. And Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur attempted for it and he empowered Prabhupada and Prabhupada empowered these three Grihastha disciples. She said we should have nice Radha Krishna deities in the very first center London ISKCON. Then she put up some donation boxes. There was an Indian house in different floors. Donate for Radha Krishna deities. And various Indian devotees, most of the Indians they have culture, spiritual culture, devotional culture. They started donating for Radha Krishna deities. Gradually the fund built up and there were a few months to the opening and the deities were to be ordered. Yamuna Mataji was looking, he will order the deities from Jaipur, have nice Radha Krishna deities for our first London ISKCON center. But Shyamsundar Prabhu, he was in charge of the temple construction. And he needed the funds for some emergency. He wrote that we cannot complete the temple if we do not have the funds. So he asked Yamuna, you have the funds for the deities, give those funds to me. He said, no, how can I give this for the deities? He wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I need the funds to complete the temple. Otherwise temple won't be complete. Prabhupada wrote back to Yamuna, give the money to Shyamsundar. So, and Prabhupada said, Krishna will come for you. Krishna will come. So, with a heavy heart, she assisted Shyamsundar Prabhu in his service. She gave the money. The temple became ready. The date was set for the deities to be installed. And she really wanted big Radha Krishna deities. Now, few days remaining, Prabhupada came and Prabhupada brought small Radha Krishna deities. But she had faith, she was looking forward. Prabhupada said Krishna will come. So Prabhupada came, the temple is getting ready. And just 2 days before the installation, one Mr. Goyal invited Prabhupada. And Mr. Goyal said, Prabhupada, I heard home for Prasadam, where he mentioned that we have got one Radha Krishna deities from India, shipped. But then the finger of Radharani broke in transportation. And I think according to Vedic laws for installing the deities, Pran Pratishtha, we cannot install, the deities because one finger of Radharani has broken. So we are thinking maybe we can donate this year to the ISKCON. Prabhupada said, can you show me the deities? And then Mr. Goyal took, they were wrapped in a white cloth. Prabhupada uncovered the cloth, saw the deities, and Prabhupada asked, Shyamsundar, see if you can pick up Radharani. Shyamsundar said, yes Prabhupada. Mukunda, see if you can pick up Krishna. Yes Prabhupada, I can pick up Krishna. Prabhupada said, we will go. And Mr. Goyal was shocked. He wanted to have a ceremony, formal ceremony, of donating, and so on and so forth. And he was planning. And Swamiji, we are just thinking, we are planning. Swamiji said, thank you very much. We have accepted your offer. And Prabhupada actually hijacked them. And he's walking, and Mr. Goyal, what will you do now? Here is a sannyasi walking with the ladies. And he was just stunned. He could not think of anything. And Prabhupada just kept the ladies in the car, in the lap, the Shantaman and Mukund are holding. And Prabhupada started. He just started the car. Let's go to the temple. After going 5-10 minutes, midway Prabhupada stopped. And he looked at the ladies behind. And he started singing, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Prabhupada started singing for them, and he said, there is no problem, this is Krishna's trick, this is Radharani's trick. They wanted to come to us, they have played a trick, and the finger has broken. We will fix the finger, there will be no problem that Radha and Krishna will be fully present in the deities. And Prabhupada brought the deities, and then he told Yamuna Devi, Yamuna Mataji, he said, Yamuna, Krishna has come for you. Krishna has come to you because you assisted another devotee in his service. Therefore, Krishna has come to you. So therefore, the point we are discussing is, we want to go to Krishna, we want to have darshan of Krishna, but Krishna will look at that devotee, Krishna will come to that person who serve his devotees, who assists his devotees. Of all the devotees of Krishna, who is the best devotee? Okay, fine, there will be multiple answers. Who is considered as the best devotee, or I would say, let me be a little bit specific. In Vrindavan, one devotee of the Lord is glorified as the best of the Haridasas. Yes, who is that? Govardhan. Govardhan is described as the best devotee, Haridas Varya. Why he is described, why he is called as Haridas Varya? The reason he is called as Haridas Varya, the best devotee, is because he facilitates the service of all the other devotees to Krishna. Giriraj Govardhan, he provides fresh grasses for the cows. There are beautiful water springs, natural mineral water, very cool, refreshing for the cowherd boys, for the cows. There are many beautiful fruit trees. The Gopas, Gopis, they pluck fruits and eat. There are so many beautiful caves for the Krishna and Balaram and the cowherd boy friends. They hide in the caves. They play around in the caves. In fact, it described when Krishna sits on the stones of Govardhan, they become soft like a sofa. They don't feel hard like a stone. Krishna's Govardhan melts and becomes very soft. And its shilas become very fragrant. So, he is considered the best devotee because Giriraj Govardhan, he serves other devotees of Krishna. And therefore he is the topmost devotee. Therefore, in Bhakti, we say a servant of the Lord is very important person, VIP. Who is a VIP? Lord Chaitanya says, he gives the definition of VIP. Yai bhaje se bada means one who is a devotee. Krishna sees that person as VIP, his devotee. But who is the servant of his devotee, that person is VVIP. And who is the servant of his devotee, that person is VVVIP. This is a different terminology, different way of looking at it. That's how the Lord sees. The more a person serves and assist other devotees, Krishna considers that person to be more important, to be even greater. So that is Vaishnava Seva. That is Vaishnava Seva. Serving other devotees, it pleases Krishna so much. To the extent that the Lord himself likes to serve his own devotees. As Lord Chaitanya, he would take the clothes of his devotees. At the time he had not revealed himself as the Supreme Lord. He was known as Nimaya Pandit, the great teacher and the scholar. He would take the clothes of his own devotees and wash them with Ganga. And his devotees would give him blessings. And Lord Chaitanya would receive the blessings of his devotees on his head. It is mentioned, Bhakta Ashirvad Prabhu Shire Kori Loe Bhakta Ashirvade Krishna Ke Bhakti Hoye. Bhakta Ashirvad Prabhu Shire Kori Loe. He would accept the blessings of his devotees on his head. Why? Because Bhakta Ashirvade Krishna Ke Bhakti Hoye. By devotees' blessing, one develops devotional service to Krishna. So therefore, to the extent, Vrindavan Thakur says, it is doubtful that if there is someone who is serving Krishna, it is doubtful that a person may achieve perfection or may not achieve perfection in life. But if someone is serving a Vaishnava, that person will surely achieve the perfection of life. Vrindavan Thakur says that. Eteke Vaishnava Seva Param Upay Avashyami Lai Krishna Vaishnava Kripai. There is no doubt. Avashyami Lai Krishna Vaishnava Kripai. If one has the mercy of devotees upon him or her, that person will surely attain Krishna. Therefore, Etike Vaishnava Seva Param Upay. The most beneficial or Param Upay means the way to attain Krishna. The easiest way to attain Lord Krishna's mercy, and the surest way to attain Lord Krishna's mercy is to serve his devotees. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya, when he said, do these two things, he placed Vaishnava Seva first. Let's recite the verse. Prabhu kahe Vaishnava Seva Nama Sankirtana. Dui karo shigra bhave Shri Krishna charana. So Vaishnava Seva attacks Krishna. Second aspect is Nama Sankirtan. And again, in the Prabhupada again writes in many places in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam that the devotional service can be executed properly only in the association of devotees. And he would quote one of the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur by saying, Ekaki amar nahi paya bal Hari Nama Sankirtane. Narottam Das Thakur had written, alone I have no strength to perform Nam Sankirtan. But when we are in the association of devotees, then we get the strength to perform Nam Sankirtan. It is very easy, it becomes very easy when we come together with the devotees and chant the holy name of the Lord. Whether it is Sankirtan, Sankirtan becomes very joyful, very sweet, and even Japa becomes very easy when we are with the devotees. When we come together with the devotees, we can actually focus on our chanting and it becomes easier, which otherwise may be very difficult. So therefore, association is very important. Prabhupada beautifully says I'll read a quote of Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, this chanting should go on. Whatever, irrespective of any circumstances, whatever may happen, the chanting should go on. So Prabhupada says, this chanting should go on. Instead of meetings, resolutions, dissolutions, revolutions, and no solutions, there should be constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Especially, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur encouraged us to chant loudly. Loud chanting has special power, has special potency. He would say, all the obstacles on our path, sometimes like we may feel down, we may feel discouraged, we may feel very tired, we may feel bored and not feel like chanting. And there will be many obstacles to our chanting. He would say, if we chant loudly, then all these obstacles will go away, just like when a lion roars, all the smaller animals, they just run away. So all the obstacles will just be vanished by loud chanting of the holy names. Let's chant loudly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya tells Advaita Acharya, I have appeared because you loudly chanted the holy names. He says, I was sleeping in the ocean of milk. Right? Lord Ella Shivadakshay Vishnu, he sleeps. Your loud chanting broke my sleep. Therefore, I have appeared in response to your loud chanting. So therefore, loud chanting has a special potency to attract Krishna's attention. At times, I see, I had read this, and when I would go to Mayapur, I would see, this is, I'm talking of 15-20 years back, I would see Jayababa Swami Maharaj, he was sitting right in the circle with the devotees, and in between, he would encourage the devotees to raise hands and loudly chant the name of Gauranga or loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Advaita Acharya is one who attracted the Lord by his loud chanting. Is described Yahara tulasi jale, Yahara hunkare, Sogana sahite chatan mera avatare. By his offering tulsi to the Lord, Yahara tulasi jale, he would take 2 leaves of tulsi, or say just 1 leaf of tulsi, dip it in Ganga water, slide, and put at the lotus feet of the Lord. A very simple act. Anyone can do at home. But this simple act of offering tulsi and Ganga Jal at the Lord's lotus feet and chanting his names is so potent that the Lord could not resist but answer his prayers. He had to answer his prayers. Therefore, Yahara tulasi jale, Yahara hunkare. Hunkare means loud calling. So loud is not exactly, of course, we can call loudly from the throat, but mainly loudly from the heart. Mainly loudly from the heart. I have personally seen, at times when I, feel very tired, lazy, not feel like sometimes getting in the morning, just within my heart, because in ashram many devotees are sleeping. I can't sit in the brahmacharya ashram nearby, so many devotees are sleeping. I just from my heart start chanting loudly. And within no time, I feel some divine energy. We will overcome all the obstacles and Krishna shows the way. Several times I have experienced that whenever loudly from the heart, I want to do something but I am not able to do. We all experience sometimes we want to do something but due to some reason, lack of determination, you are very tired, lack of conviction, so on, so forth. Not able to do it. But the loud chanting of the Lord's name, it removes all obstacles and gives us that divine empowerment. So therefore, the best way to attract Krishna's mercy is to serve his devotees and loudly chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Prabhu kahe Vishnu seva nama sankirtan. Dui kare shikra pave Shri Krishna charan. We'll together recite now. Prabhu kare Krishna seva nama sankirtan. Dui kare shikra pave Shri Krishna charan. Little loudly, the last time. Prabhu kare Krishna seva nama sankirtan. Dui kare shikra pave Shri Krishna charan. So while we attain Krishna's lotus feet through this process, it is our duty to help others also to come along with us, to take as many people with us as much as possible, right? Inspire others, take others along with us at the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is Jivedaya. So what essentially we have talked today is Krishna Seva, Namirati and Jivedaya. And now I would like to request His Radha Gopinath Prabhu to, I said I will just set the stage and Radha Gopinath Prabhu will actually give you, he will actually make the structure or that will be main talk, the insights into how to balance the three, how to go deeper into the three, all that will be explained by His Grace Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Umagyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalaka Chakshurumilikarvim Tasmai Shri Gurave. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. After such a powerful and strong foundation, which is already standing at a profound building, I really wonder whether another building is necessary. However, I would like to share one beautiful thought process that was presented by His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj. One time he was extremely sick, so much that the question of practically battling for his life. And he was taking rest, he was asked to take rest for about 3 weeks. So he went to one particular kind of a very secluded place in the middle of the forest, accompanied by just one assistant. And he was staying there, being nourished by the devotee as per the recommendation. And he expresses that the only thing that he saw all around him were only trees. So many trees. And at that time, he had a kind of a realization, and he shared that. He said, when you look at a tree, it also talks about perfect balance. A tree has basically three parts. One is the root, another one is the stem, and then you have the crown consisting of branches, sub-branches, the twigs, the leaves, the flowers, the fruits. So he said, I'm kind of summarizing, it's actually a 3-hour seminar that I do, but the roots nourishes the tree, collecting from the ground all that is needed for the nourishment of the tree. The stem provides stability to the tree, and the crown of the tree is the contribution of the tree to the world. The branches stand out in the sun and gives shade to the people underneath. It brings out flowers for others, not for itself. It gives very juicy and luscious fruits. It doesn't eat its own fruit, it's meant for others. So, similarly, when a sincere devotee, a determined devotee, really wants to pursue the path for a whole lifetime. There are, when we were young, we had this story about the rabbit and the tortoise having a race. And the rabbit was super confident. Obviously, with another tortoise, no question of who's going to win. And therefore, he ran and then looked back that I'm too far ahead. He relaxed. While the tortoise actually was steady. It took very steady steps and very focused. I didn't stop till the end was reached. And that is determination. Utsahat, Nishayat, Dhairya. Rupa Goswami mentions 6 ingredients necessary for a person to complete the journey. Human life is so rare, and rarer still is if a person has found the goal of life. Those who haven't received the mercy of the Lord and a Guru do not have a goal. They keep changing their goalposts from time to time, from stage of life. But Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha purana. So, after having found the goal, which is developing love of Krishna, then there is initial enthusiasm. And many a times, because of tremendous initial enthusiasm, it may be that we may kind of burn out a little bit. And then we are in a situation where we look back and kind of lament that probably I should have been a little more sober, a little more balanced, a little more steady, so that I could successfully complete the journey. And in that, this kind of a balance is very necessary. Yes, enthusiasm is necessary. It also requires patience. Because the kind of goal that we have set up is not something simple. It's not something easily accessible. It's Mahaprabhu's mercy that it has been made simple, but otherwise, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Yanavan Mantra Padyate. It takes millions of lifetimes. So, still, whatever little lifespan we have, it is said, Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhana. This is an instrument. The body, especially a human body, is an extremely favorable instrument because it has all the facilities. The intelligence, the mind, the senses are specifically made for self-realization. Only human form of life. And therefore, Brahmanda Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiva. And having found that, if you look in our movement, in Srila Prabhupada's movement, so many people, so many wonderful devotees, so enthusiastically were eager to give their life to Srila Prabhupada's movement. And some are gloriously still going on, but what about the so many powerful personalities who did glorious services in those earlier years? Where are they? Why did they become, inactive later? There must be something to learn. And therefore, this particular balance was presented very beautifully. So, one should judge these three aspects. Just like for completing the journey, you may have a beautiful vehicle, but you need the petrol. You need the gas, you need the gasoline. So that's the nourishment to run the machine. And that's the root. The root gives nourishment to the whole tree. And one needs to deeply introspect. What is it that nourishes us? Of course, spiritually we know. Spiritually it's the holy name. Spiritually it's the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Because as long as the tree is connected to the earth has unlimited resource. The earth has unlimited resource. The deeper the root, the more it can actually gather. The broader the root, the more it can gather resource. Similarly, by taking shelter of the holy name, which is not different from Krishna, who has inconceivable, unlimited resource. There is no dearth of resource. A few days back I was in India. Every morning I get up and offer my prayers to the sun during Gayatri Japa. And when I come to Melbourne, I look at the sun, the same sun. That's something that has not changed. In India, you look at on top, you see the same sun. Whether you go anywhere on this planet, you see the same sun. And just think about the sun. Just to light up this room, how much energy is required? Wattage power to light up this room. Imagine lighting up whole of Melbourne. How much energy is required at night to light up a stadium? How much powerful light and how much wattage of power. But even if all the lights are on in the city of Melbourne or whole of Australia, see, it can't compare to the sunlight at noontime. Even when you fly, you may see the whole light, but you can't distinguish properly where you are. But when the sunlight comes, millions of light years away, still it lights up. So much energy. Life comes as soon as the sun comes. As soon as the sun rises, actually life starts. Not only for human beings. We are like crazy guys, sometimes we become active after sunset. That's a perverted lifestyle. But look at the other beings. They become active. The birds. Look at the birds, look at the other animals. Perfect. So there's so much energy. So, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hai Antaka. That all the power, Namna Makari Bahudhan Nija Sarva Shakti, all that power of Krishna, sun is just one tiny insignificant particle of Krishna's energy. And it's burning since time immemorial. What the amount of fuel required to burn the sun? And the sun is not taking, Sunday off. It's my day. I need a relaxation. And the sun is burning since time immemorial. It's fire. And fire requires fuel. How is it the sun doesn't diminish? It's the same thing that's given since time immemorial. This is one tiny example of the inconceivable, inexhaustible power of the sun. That's Krishna's power. And all that power is there in the holy name. Nija Sarva Shakti. So that's a powerful charging of, when your mobile is discharged, you connect to a higher source of power. Then it gets charged up. And the high it is charged, good connectivity. Otherwise in India, they may be standing little, hello, hello, hello. No response from the other side. There is no connectivity. But if the charging is good connectivity. So, the holy name is one source of inexhaustible resource of power, energy. But you need to, sometimes, you put it, but if they lose connection, the switch is on, but it doesn't get charged because there's a loose connection. Actually, energy has never flowed. That's our inattentive chanting, or very offensive kind of chanting. So, emphasizing on that kind of connectivity, charging up ourselves at the beginning of the day. The other is, as we were discussing yesterday, the avatar of Krishna in the form of a book. Puranam Brahma Samhita. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna in the form of his book, his message. Just connecting with a humble heart that I desperately need that connection, that energy, that empowerment, that mercy, is such a recharging phenomenon. For others, it may be, some people are energized and rejuvenated, replenished by just picking up a book. Some are very good readers, they love to read some books. Just simply, just read some books and they feel nourished. Some people need a nature walk to replenish themselves. Just leave me alone and I want that. So, different people have different ways of kind of feeling rejuvenated or energized. So one has to find that and do that. So that's like the roots. And the second one is the stem, which provides stability. Imagine thick and deep roots and a heavy foliage on the top of the trunk and a very thin stem. It's bound to just collapse. The tree will fall down. The wind from the wind and the whole thing will collapse. So the thickness of the trunk represents how stable the tree is going to be. And that stability is also a very important for a devotee's life. Many a time, many devotees, unfortunately, neglect their health, thinking that we are not this body, and probably we are pampering it a little too much. We are engaging in sense gratification. Senses are meant to be satisfied. Senses are not meant to be gratified. But they must be satisfied. That's why Krishna says, Tar madhye jiva ati laubhamay sudurmati tati jita kodhina samsare. One of our favorite prayers. Krishna bada dayama. Kori bare jiva jaa. So when we access, senses doesn't mean only the tongue. The eyes need some nourishment and some satisfaction. Ears need satisfaction. The nose needs satisfaction. The sense of touch needs satisfaction. Bhojana doesn't mean only food for the tongue. Bhojan means all the senses need satisfaction. And those things, if they are accepted as much as necessary, whatever is favorable to achieve the goal, and even if it is as much as necessary, and even if it is favorable, it should be accepted as a mercy of the Lord. So when everything is accepted with these three conditions, then the senses are alert, alive, and active. At the same time, it's active for the purpose of achieving the goal. Otherwise, it is pampering. Otherwise, it is, unfavorable. So, at the same time, there is also yukta ahara viharasya, yukta karamasya, the golden mean. Not too much, not too less. I remember one time, one devotee asked a very senior person after the Bhagavatam class, he said, Swamiji Maharaj, he said, how much is too much? And how less is too less? Because sometimes you look at someone's plate, they do full justice to Mahaprasad. And then you wonder, by default, am I a Raghunath Das Goswami? That's what. Or you look at someone who are like eating like Raghunath, and you wonder, am I indulging my senses? So this devotee sincerely asked, how do I know how much is too much, how less is too less? And so the reply that he got was, I will give you an example of two Paramahamsa Mahabhagavats. One is Raghunath Das Goswami, who was eating a palmful of buttermilk every 3 days. And even while drinking, was telling, so much time I am spending just of his body, which is temporary. This is one Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat. And the other one was Bhima. When the Pandavas were in the forest, the Pandavas would go for begging alms, and they would bring it back and give it to Kunti, collection for the day. And then Kunti would divide it into half. One half for Bhima, and one half for the other Pandavas and Kunti. 4 plus 1, 5, and Bhima would finish off and then keep looking at their plate. And they say, okay, Baba, ye le, aur thoda le le. Just look at your plate, don't look at. He would easily eat 10 people he can devour. That's why it is called Vrikodara. Vrika means like unsatiable hunger. But the same Gita says, Bhima Karma. When time came for action, when the Lakshagraha, the house of lack, was put on fire at the behest of Duryodhana and their party, and the Pandavas had to escape from that tunnel. If they were caught, they would be killed. So they came out in the midst, the whole night. They were ready. They didn't sleep that night. And as soon as they knew it's going to be light, as soon as it was lighted, they escaped. They came out. This was around 3 a.m. suppose in the morning. And they crawled a long distance and came out. After they came out, Bhima said, you do one thing. Climb on. Kunti was sitting on his neck like this. And on the two shoulders he took Yudhishthira and Arjuna. And Nakul and Sahadev he put with his hands. And it is described, he ran for the whole day. Throughout, even before sunrise he started running. And he was running with such fierce force, the trees that came in the way were flying off. And then he reached a very safe distance beyond the kingdom and into a forest. And he placed them very gently down. This was at practically sunset. It was almost like night. Whole day was running full speed. 5 of them, and he placed them, and they said, we are tired, we are feeling sleepy. Simply by sitting. And Bhima was actually running. He said, you all relax, you go to sleep, I will keep awake and I will guard you. And that was the time Hidimba actually sent his sister, Hidimbi, who fell in love with her lunchbox, so to say. And then actually Bhima, she proposed to Bhima, and then Hidimba came, and that was the extra. After the whole day's service, extra seva. He had to kill Hidimba, powerful demon, kill him. So if you can work like Bhima, eat like Bhima. Don't look at others' plate, just do justice to your plate, that's all. That means deeply understanding what's my need, not my want. Want is no end, but need. There's a difference between understanding the need and want. The need must be fulfilled. It's legitimate. But wants are unlimited. That needs to be understood. Yukta ahara vihara, the golden mean. So that is physical well-being. Because how do you do Vaishnava Seva? If you yourself are sick, you are forced to take Vaishnava Seva. And the most painful thing for a devotee who is sincerely wanting to serve is to be in a position where everyone has to serve him. It's extremely painful for a person. I don't want to be served. I want to serve. But to serve, you need to be fit. And so therefore, stability of sadhana, alert, active, and sustained service. Like I have seen in many temples, There are so many sincere, steady grahastas who have taken certain responsibilities, and once they take up a particular responsibility, you can depend on them. Come what may, you can depend on them. Year after year, decade after decade, they've been steadily doing that. That's amazing. Just by looking at them, you feel so inspired. Wow. Dependable, reliable, because they actually understand whatever is the need to actually execute that service. I will acquire the required knowledge, I will acquire the required skills, I will acquire the required energy, sustainable, so that the seva can go on. I was in London, Bhaktivedanta Manor, Ulandana Mataji, Prabhupada disciple, and there were 2-3 other Jiva, I forget his name, doing this service in the DT room. She was cooking the sweets for Radha Ranganeshwar, Radha Gokulananda. Later, until the last day of her life, she was doing that. Yeah? So, keeping ourselves fit, and not just physical fitness, even emotionally one should be stable. If a person is emotionally unstable, how can they actually help others? How can they serve others? So the well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being is very important, and that stability comes when things are organized and balanced. And balancing is not a one-time act. Sometimes, in a particular situation, we figure out, this is too much, this is too less. This is the perfect golden mean. So here's a young man or a young lady who's a student and just passed out, and everything has been figured out, and suddenly he or she gets a job. Everything goes haywire. By the time you have figured out, this is perfect balance, you get married, everything goes haywire. A new situation. By the time they figured out how both of us can perfectly balance, there is a child, and everything goes haywire again. By the time you need to figure out. So, newer and newer responsibilities come. And responsibility means burden. It can be a burden of love, it can be a burden of the beast. It's up to you what you want to do. See it as. And burden means weight. W-E-I-G-H. And weight means to be tendency to be thrown off balance. When you take a new responsibility, a new role, as soon as you get a new role, it's a new responsibility. And a responsibility means burden, burden means weight, and weight means tendency to be going off balance. So you need to perfectly find a balance. How to balance it? Just like putting one stone on top of the other, you need to find a point which perfectly balances and stays. So physical and emotional well-being is important so that sadhana can go on and seva can go on. But then this could also become a little selfish. My seva and my sadhana. Imagine a big tree, deep and broad roots and thick trunk, and only 2 leaves on top. Who will be inspired to water that tree? Wow, itna pani pita hai. And only 2 leaves, no fruits, no flowers. That is why Lord Chaitanya said, Janma sarthaka kari, karo paropakar. So, in addition to Name Ruchi. Name Ruchi is the root because you get nourishment through unlimited resource of the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing and chanting. But then the trunk represents Vaishnava Seva. It begins with yourself. Be compassionate to your own body. Don't pamper it. Don't neglect it. न अति अश्नतस्तु योगोस्ति न चैकान्तम अनश्नतम न च अति स्वप्नशीलस्य जागृतोदैव चारणः. Krishna gives such a beautiful rule. If you, as Prabhupada said, if you sleep too much, you become lazy. If you sleep too little, you become crazy. You need to sleep. How much? Each one has to decide for oneself, so that you are alert and alive throughout the day, and not kind of drowsy. So that kind of stability, physical, emotional, probably even financial. Lord Chaitanya was telling Shivananda, saying, hey, take care of this Vasudeva Dutt's, you become his financial manager. Because this fellow, whatever he earns in the day, he spends it by the evening. He's so compassionate. He wants to take care of the whole world, nothing left for himself. He needs to take care of his own self. He chastised Sanatana Goswami. How dare you think of committing suicide just because your body has become sickly and full of oozes and boils which are oozing out pus. Sanatana Goswami, I am not able to serve, I will commit suicide under the Rath, Jagannath chariot. And Lord Chaitanya came to him, he chastised. Tomar Sharira Mora Pradhana Sadham E Sharire Sadhimuami Bahu Prayojan. How dare you think of even giving up this body? This body has already been submitted to me. You have already surrendered this body. Manasa Deho Geho Jogi Chumor Artilum Chuvapade Nandakishwar. You have taken care of this body. Why? Nimitta Matra Bhava Sadasashi. Arjun, you simply become an instrument. So this is an instrument. As Lord Srila Prabhupada prayed, Nachao Nachao Prabhu, Nachao Semate, Kashtero Putali Jaha, make me a puppet, make me dance. Imagine a broken puppet, only hand comes out and the whole puppet is landing. How will that puppet act unless it is fit? So Lord Chaitanya chastised. You have no right to neglect this body. And you can't overly pamper. You need to get the balance. So then there is the crown. And that is Jivedaya. So there is Nameruchi. There is sustainable, sustained, stable Vaishnava Seva to the community of devotees through taking various responsibilities in service of devotees. And that service may vary. There was one manager in one particular place in US, I don't want to name, anyway, I'll tell it anyway. Ravikul Swarup Prabhu, he was a manager. And as a manager, he would judge the sincerity of the devotee by their physical presence in the temple and their activity. So there were 3 ladies literally taking full responsibility. They were like pillars of the temple. And other lady, he thought was little spaced out. But one time, all these 3 ladies fell chronically sick. The whole thing collapsed. So Seva collapsed. And at that time, this other lady, who the manager considered a little spaced out, because she was learning newer and newer alternative medicines and all that. She had that inclination. She personally took care of these other 3 ladies, going to their homes and nursed them back to health within a very short time. And that time, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu said, I decided not to judge a devotee simply by the amount of service, visible service. Everyone, if they are sincere, somebody may be like Hanuman, throwing big boulders to make the bridge for Lord Ram. And some in their circumstance, in their situation, they may be like the squirrel who is pushing a few grains in the eye of Lord Ram, because they were sincerely trying to do the best in their situation, according to their circumstance. It was the same. So sometimes we have a tendency to judge externally, but the most important, as the Honorable mentioned, is the sincerity of the heart, the desire to actually serve and to share. Janma sarthaka kari, karo paropakar. And paropakar means wanting to share our good fortune with the others. Imagine you are in a village and there are no taps, there is no water system. Every house has a well. And suppose there is a drought and all the wells of all the people in the village has dried up, and your well is overflowing with water. What would you do? Put a lid, put a thick tiger lock. In Punjab it's called tiger lock, a very powerful lock, nobody can break. And then you say, what to do? It is their karma. But somebody may say, oh, poor thing, my water is overflowing in my well. Others are there, okay, open the well and say, alright, if you want you can come. And people come, take a glass, drink, and then they say, take a bucket, take and go. Then they say, we have to wash our clothes also. And then we say, we have a garden and we have a field, we need to water. So we'll do one thing, we will put a thick pipe and put 60 HP motor. What will happen to the well? It will dry up, right? So only giving. But if you are not nourished, you can't sustain that giving. Therefore we need balance. So at night, allow this water to fill up. 8 hours filling up the water, rest of the time distributing that water. So that is that nourishment. We feel re-energized. We are spiritual sadhana. We develop a taste. And then we want to share. That is Jivedaya. You know? Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. Hamara agya hai guru hoya tare desh. So, we need to balance all the three. We have to give. Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha, paropakaraya vahanti nadyaha, paropakaraya duhanti gavaha, paropakarat nidam shariram. Such an amazing, there is this Niti Shastra says, paropakar means other unfortunate people who are not as fortunate as you. Sometimes people become so self-absorbed in trying to compare and looking up at something want someone more and feel miserable. Rather than that, look at those who are less fortunate and share. It's such a sense of, from a sense of scarcity to a sense of plenty. Want to be shared. So Nadyaha, the rivers quench everyone's thirst, doesn't drink water on its own. The milk gives, and the cow gives milk to the whole society, doesn't drink its own milk. The tree gives fruit, doesn't drink its own, eat its own fruit. Similarly, we are we will be considered very mean and very selfish if we only think of our own self without sharing with other people who are less fortunate because of not having received this treasure. Not in a spirit of being holier than thou, not with a pride, but with joy. And the amazing part of spirituality, the more you give, the more you receive. This is a very special thing about spirituality. It's very different mathematics. 1 plus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1. Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purna, Purnamudachyam. It's a very special mathematics. The more you give, the more you receive. Such an amazing dynamics. So, 4 aspects to be balanced. The spiritual, in terms of nourishment, the physical and emotional stability, and the social well-being of being a giver than the receiver. A very simple definition of a demon. Who is a demon? Huh? How do you describe a demon? Sometimes demon means 2 horns and 2 teeth protruding and like a cannibal, man-eating, that's what in the Ramayana they show. Somebody comes out. Actually, one devotee defined demon in such an amazing way. He said, a demon is a person who takes more from the society but gives less. And who is a divine being? Who takes less and less but gives more and more. Very simple definition. When you take more and more and give less, you become a burden. But when you take less from society but give more, you become an asset. What is the proof? The proof of who is a demon or a divine being is, when you die, how many cry? When you die, can you imagine whenever somebody dies, some great soul dies, people cry. Or even when that person is living, beta, tu 100 saal jeena. If tu jeeta hai, to log jeete hain. If you live, you are a support for millions of others, so many thousands of others. Because your existence is simply meant to give. People feel very bad that this so and so person is no more in my life. But whenever you read Krishna book, you read Mahabharata, you read Ramayana, whenever a demon is killed, the Gandharvas start singing, the Apsaras start dancing, the Rishis and demigods start showering flowers on whoever killed the demon. Very nice, my lord. Big headache, that rascal went now. He wouldn't eat himself, he wouldn't distribute also. Gadha kahika. मैं खाता था मैं खिलाता था. That was Dhenukasur. Dhenuka had this tal forest, rotting tal fruits. He was not eating, he was not allowing others to eat. And when Krishna and Balaram killed Dhenukasur and his associates, everyone was, hey! People were having fun. Of course, we may not be so demoniac. But let's also share that good fortune with others. So, if we can kind of balance our lives in such a way, it's a dynamic process. It keeps changing every situation. And by the time you figure out something, and there are crises in life. There are some health crises, there are some financial crises, there is some relationship crisis. That's the nature of this world. Padam, padam. Padam, padam, vipadam. This is an indication. Krishna wants me to stop, I think. So through her, kick down the microphone. So anyway, if this kind of a balance is there, because we should run like the tortoise. Because the success, as I said, life is a preparation and death is the examination. And in that examination, those who come out with flying colors, as described by Krishna, Antakale Chamameva Smaran Muktva Kaleva, that the Krishna conscious, they are happy they're satisfied. That satisfaction doesn't depend upon the superficial, mental, or sensual satisfaction. It is Yayatma Suprasidati. It's a deep satisfaction. It is not dependent on anything external. It's dependent on my eternal relationship with my Lord. Unlimited source of nourishment. Complete satisfaction. Like Prabhupada was asked, so Prabhupada, kuch ichha hai? At the last days, Prabhupada said, kuch ichha nahi. No desire. When we make Krishna's desire our desire, Srila Prabhupada's desire our desire. So, actually I'm feeling so happy when I was hearing that, especially after the COVID, we have seen all over the world, wherever we have traveled, the number of people taking up Krishna consciousness, taking up the path of spirituality, deeply questioning, has increased. And we should also take up this responsibility. Two responsibilities by default. Number one, save yourself. Very important. And then, after saving yourself, don't just relax, save others. Very interesting. In every airplane, the instruction what they give? First, put the mask on yourself before putting it on your child also. Very interesting to be learned. Janma sarthaka kari, फिर करो परोपकार. Because if you try to do that, you will not be remaining. So first, put the mask yourself in emergency, then put it on the near and dear ones. So, extremely grateful to the organizers here for this wonderful opportunity to serve all of you. And it's so nice to see so many people taking up, and I'm sure Prabhupada's profuse mercy is already flowing upon us in this association, and we continue to kind of share and give much more better. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Stop करिए.